Welcome once again on the Tuesday, chilly Tuesday night. This is Intellectual Radio, um, Frontline Tie, as we used to call me, with my man Deven, and we on X-Cons for Trump live on Intellectual Radio for intellectualradio.com. Go and subscribe and share. Intellectualradio.com. Please subscribe and share. And this is X-Cons for Trump live. And I'm your host, Tyrone Muhammad. Carter Trust couldn't be here with us tonight, but we got a great fill-in and sit-in. That's Deven Jones, RNC, or is it a Republican chair?
18th Ward
18th
Republican
Ward
Committeeman, chair of the Southside Republicans.
Chair of the Southside Republicans.
Yeah.
And we want to go over some things. I'm going to just give a quick talk, and then I want Deven, for you all that didn't hear him last week, go back to intellectualradio.com. Last week's show, what was that, Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
And just review that show. So there's so much going on, man. We're still reeling from the, shall we say, the presidential election. And I'm just so, just really overwhelmed with the crybaby stuff. It's like, you that bully like that you've been beating everybody up from kindergarten all the way to 7th grade, right? You've been winning and beating everybody up in every class from kindergarten to 7th grade. But here when you get to the 8th grade, your dominance and rule was so long that when you lose power to a bigger bully, or the 8th graders that came together said, "No, you're not coming to bully on us. Sit down and you're going to fall in order and get in line." It's like they can bully, but can't accept being bullied.
Yeah.
They whole bullying tactics, the Democratic Party and the liberal and the socialist left wing, they bullied us. They bullied black men. I saw it. I openly saw it. They bullied strong women. They bullied everybody. I watched them just bully people and cancel people. I saw them cancel real multimillionaires.
Yeah.
I saw them cancel real artists. I saw them just cancel people because they didn't agree to what they agree. You said something about the Jews, you canceled. You said something about the LGBTQ community, you canceled. If you say something about women and dead women and kids killing each other and murdering each other, getting shot, you ain't canceled. Because it's those types of things that they allow to continue to be out there in the media. So anything dealing with our systemic disinvestment, nobody want to talk about that. They act as though they're working to fix it, but they never actively put forth real measures to transform stuff. So you can, as long as you're talking about issues in our inevitable death and impoverished communities, oppression, they don't say nothing. They'll continue to promote. I'm talking about Facebook. They will promote death and murder all day long on social media. But don't say nothing. Now, we'll show your brains getting blown out on TV. We'll show all the ills that can happen to you. But you better not say nothing about the LGBTQ community. You better not say nothing about the teachers who grooming children. You better not say nothing about none of that. When children grooming shouldn't even be had in an educational environment where they need to learn how to read and write when we at the lowest on every level, reading and writing in the Chicago public school. So with that being said, I'm going to hand it off to my brother Deven, because I think we want to talk about a few things like some D-tools and how these elected officials go about being usurped by special interest groups. So in this case, we got the one with Walgreens giving everybody money. They would be a special interest group, wouldn't they?
I would say, yeah.
That's a super interest
group. It's a pharmaceutical entity. It's a major what you want to call it, corner store, grocery store, whatever.
They take a lot of real estate.
a lot of real estate. One of the largest corporations in the state of Illinois and in the country. Most of our communities are reliant on a corporation like Walgreens. And so basically what I did, because oftentimes, see, we talk about these politicians and we go to city council, we go to county board meetings, we go to these places and we do a lot of screaming and hollering, but sometimes we don't take paperwork with us. Right. We don't even know when we're yelling at them about a specific policy. And they look back at us like the mayor could do, or like most of our aldermen do, look back at us with 1,000-yard stare, just a blank stare, and say, we still gonna do this anyway. We're still gonna push this forward. And we don't understand why. It's because we don't really pull these people's D2s and see where they're getting money and who they actually belong to. They don't work for us.
Right.
They work for whoever.
Before we get into that, real quick, tell the people who you are, what you do, and your function as a committeeman.
So I'm the 18th Ward committeeman. I was elected. This is my second term. I was elected in 2020, and then again in 2024. I basically represent Republicans in my ward. We have increased people who affiliate with the Republican Party in my ward by, I want to say 125%. I think it's 114%. I'm sorry, that's kind of high, but that's still pretty good. That means that we've more than doubled the amount of people in a majority Black ward that affiliate with the Republican Party. Across the South Side, I run the South Side Republican Organization in the 21st Ward. Along with Ronald Fields and Latasha Fields, we work to increase Republican turnout in that ward by 216%, which is the highest of all the majority Black wards. And that is the blackest ward in the city by percentage of Black people living there. Total across the South Side, we've increased people basically going and saying, I want a Republican ballot by over 100% in almost every majority Black ward.
So your Republican ballots have increased.
Yes,
people who won a Republican ballot in the community
at the primary, and in all of the 17 majority Black wards. And what that means is that those of us who are committeemen, that's our power. When we deal with the Republican Party, it's based on the weighted vote, and it's based on the amount of Republicans that actually vote in your ward. And so for the first time in my lifetime, a majority Black ward actually had a delegate to the Illinois Republican Party state convention, and that was my ward. Wow! So you need 500. You need 500 Republican voters in a ward, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you think some counties only have 500 Republicans in the entire county. So we were able to send a delegate, which was me, down to the state convention, which means for the first time the city of Chicago actually had Black representation.
Oh, down at the state?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I was thinking about the RNC.
So it's a similar thing with the RNC, but it's not based on ward. It's based on like what you do in your state. Whatever the rules are for the RNC, it's a little bit different, but the delegates are based off of the Republican weighted vote, if you will, in your state.
So we got a little time, so I just want to flesh out more information and get the people acclimated to really, because we don't often hear of an RNC chairman. We don't often hear of that, right?
Yeah.
And or committeemen.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know only of this is a Democratic city.
Yeah.
This is a Democratic state. And to see somebody like you, young man, smart, Black man, in that position in a Democratic state, how does that feel? And what do people say? Like when you actually they understand what it is that you do?
I think when I first came in, I used to hear a lot of Black Republicans say like that they were called coons or they were called all these different. So I've never experienced that. I have never had an issue with Black people calling me out of my name because I'm Black first. Like I don't, my mother didn't pop me out and say Republican, right?
Right.
I was Black. So I come at it first from that, and my political philosophy is an extension of what I have grown up in a Black community. We are conservative by nature. We have never thought that government was the answer. It's supposed to protect our rights. But other than that, we didn't wait for the government to educate us after slavery or during slavery.
Once again,
we've never waited for the government to help us buy homes or to figure things out for us, because we know that this country was founded on our second-class citizenship. I love America. Don't get me wrong. You know, this is the only country my family has ever known. We've been here since at least 1781. But what I'm saying is that doesn't change the fact that this has been a country where Black people have been second, third, and oftentimes no class citizens. So from that standpoint, that's why I am a Republican and a conservative, because all I need you to do is make sure that my Second Amendment right is protected and I can defend my family and my community. All I need you to do is make sure that my freedom of speech is protected. I need you to make sure that there's equality of opportunity. There is no equality of opportunity in this country, and it's not merit-based. I know people want to believe that, and we be throwing this around and stuff like that, but it is not merit-based. It is lineage-based, and unfortunately, right now, white people tend to be on top here. That's just the way it is. Mm-hmm. When you look at the Homestead Act that built Illinois and most of the Midwest, where they gave white people, mostly immigrants, Germans, and different things like that, they gave them farms. It was the 1800s version of a PPP loan, right? The PPP loans were forgivable. They gave it to you if you kept your employees, if you did what you were supposed to do, they were quote unquote forgiven. That's how these family farms were built. These people did not just pull themselves up by their bootstrap. The government helped them. They settled this land. If you ever played the game Oregon Trail, the one part that they left out is the fact that the government gave this land out. And so from that standpoint, we're talking about groups of people who have been helped up. And then when it comes to us, it's like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. We gave y'all our bootstraps. Yeah. We made them. We created the whole idea of a bootstrap and gave it to you. And so now, because that does not, I'm going to give you an example because I know I'm all over the place. But Allgale Gardens and the city of Hometown. Allgale Gardens is a housing project that was built for Black veterans returning from World War II. Hometown is a suburb right down the street from my house that was built at the same time using the Federal Housing Authority, and they gave them zero interest and low interest loans to white veterans so that they could build a home rule city. If you know anything about the Illinois Constitution, home rule means the city governs itself, it taxes itself. Chicago's a home rule entity. So for white people, they got the city of Hometown that still exists to this day, and they were able to sell their homes and capitalize off of the gains and the appreciation of that value, whereas Black people, Black veterans, were put on a toxic waste site in government housing. Can anybody tell me what you could pass down if the government owns it? Can you pass down Cabrini Green?
No.
Can you pass down Allgale Gardens, anybody that ever lived in Robert Taylor home, what you pass down?
I mean, they dispersed
lead paint poisoning.
Yeah, and murder and bloodshed and poverty.
Right. And so that's what we're talking about. So anyway, that's what I mean when I say I'm conservative. We should have never accepted government housing. That's when I say I'm a conservative, I don't want government housing. If you have an FHA loan where you're going to boost the economy using people, then boost we need a zero interest loan because we built the country.
See, that seemed almost easy to do, right? It sounds like that should be like a no-brainer, right? But when you think about reparations that people been talking about, and every time I hear this reparation talk, when Democrats has been in power over the last 12 years, Trump did 4, but since then it's been 12 years. That reparation or that zero interest loan hasn't ever came to mind when it talks about the Democratic Party. Like, to be able to say that, we seem like we exist for handouts. We exist. They say they don't want government in their business.
We allow it though.
But this is the thing I'm saying. They want to do whatever they want to do when it comes to certain things.
Yes.
But then expect the government they want to govern us a certain way, but then don't want to be governed.
Right.
That's the hypocrisy of it. Like, hey, let me do what I want with kids. Let me do what I want with my body. Let me do what I want with my jobs or my special interest groups. I can exclude certain class and caste of individuals from that special interest group or union. But then don't say nothing to me. Then you better not say nothing to me about that. But then turn around and tell you who you can vote for and what you should be thinking.
And you ain't black if you don't vote.
And if you don't vote in that way or think, actually, that makes you a greater thinker because you're not following the herd. It's like that would separate us.
Yeah.
Like from the masses that's like in a zombie and what you call a twilight zone or something.
And it would give us greater political power if we diversified our vote. I was listening to something and they were talking about stocks.
Yeah.
And investments and how your investments are supposed to be diversified, right? You might have a little bit in Walgreens, you might have a little bit in Bitcoin, you might have stuff here, and a strong portfolio is diversified. But when it comes to our vote, it's like we just in lockstep to this one party, and we've got nothing but death, poverty, and destruction.
But you know the problem is they will see somebody like me. I don't have a party. You know, I lean independent. I vote for who I want because I'm free, right? So when you look at this, right, and you see the Latinos, look who carried Trump over the top.
Yeah.
Then you see the Latinos in the Democratic Party. They winning. And they control a lot of committees, and they control a lot of committees even in City Hall. They word, their voice matters. Well, we're fighting and bickering in our committee. We can't pass a pothole rule. You know what I'm saying? To patch up potholes in our neighborhoods, right? We can't even do that, right? We can't even create jobs just patching potholes for black people. Like, little homies, y'all go patch up potholes and make some money.
How many black people worked on the Obama library?
Oh, man, I don't even know, man. It's a lot of them from what I saw. A lot? It's quite a few. It's quite a few.
I know that was an issue at one time, was that they weren't coming from
listen, it's always an issue for me because it ain't enough, ever. If you're talking about Obama, it still ain't enough because certain people only benefit from that stuff.
Yeah.
Not little homie them around the corner that's gonna be shooting and robbing everybody that's going to Obama library. They ain't benefiting. They can't benefit from that. They don't have the requisite skills, nor are we advanced and even training them so they can build the next library. It's just so much, man, that's so disheartening. And we are feeling it now. This election allowed me to see that they really don't have power that we thought they had.
No, they
don't. The people show everybody.
Yeah.
With all the ills they mentioned about Trump, 2025, Project 2025, and all the other crap. He's a crook. He's a convicted felon. So am I. like I probably do more work than most of them. Like in these streets. Like you talking about him, but the little homie who got a father in jail, the little daughter that got a father in jail, who she loved immensely.
Yeah.
You calling him a crook or mother. You calling him all of them criminal names while their father and uncles that never could amalgamate back into society to be even useful to their own communities. But yet, no matter how bad imagery that someone paints white men, their community still rally around and support them.
Yep.
Even though people like us paid our debt to society, our own community find every reason to denigrate you because of your past.
And you know the humiliation ritual that's behind that is this is the party of safety acts across the country, right? You know, I think New York had a version of the Safety Act. We did, California. This is the group of people who the party that claims that they that they want to reduce the stigma behind being an ex-felon, that they want to reacclimate people to society, reduce recidivism, and then so what you're saying is if you've been incarcerated, you can only go so far. Don't think that you can go.
Absolutely.
Don't think that you're a full citizen and you might be able to be the president of the United States.
No, now you could be that's the crazy part though, Deven. And as a committee, man, I think you need to look into this and figure out how we could do a press conference or figure out how we could get this legislation passed. Because as an ex-felon, I can run for the highest office in the land. I can run for the United States Senate, and I can run for the presidency without being discriminated
against. But you can't be a committeeman.
I can't be a committeeman. I can't be an alderman. I can't even run for mayor.
Yeah.
Because Illinois, I don't know which governor did it. I'm thinking was it Edgar? It was one of them. They said they made it and they put those clauses in there that if you've been convicted, you cannot run for local office.
Yeah.
Not only that, bro. No taxation without representation. So if I'm discriminated against, my vote can put you in office, but my vote can't put me in office.
Correct.
Wait, hold on. Let me back this up. I got the right to let me cause I don't know if 1 + 1 = 2. That's why we failing in school in Chicago and in these schools in the inner cities, because it don't make sense. The math don't math, right? So I can vote you in office with my vote because I have the right to vote as a citizen, but I can't vote for myself.
Well, first I got to get a petition that you can sign.
That I can sign.
So I get on the ballot.
But my signature
at the top of that
work.
Petition.
Wow. So another thing, I pay taxes.
Yeah.
I hire people that pay taxes.
Right.
And thereby they live productive lives and they're able to take care of their family, so that I reduce public safety issues.
Right.
But I can't run for alderman.
Or state rep.
Can I run for state rep? State rep.
You can't run for state rep.
See, that's a low-hanging fruit. Yeah, that's a low-hanging fruit.
But not governor.
Not governor. Yeah, I think I can run for governor. Local. All politics is local. So I can run for governor. Think about this. I can run for governor. I can run for the United States Senate. But I can't run in the presidency of the United States, the #1 corporation head executive. I can run for that. And if you win, you're the executive of the United States. But you can't run for alderman. I kind of wonder, is that because they don't want us having licensing and zoning? Because locally, those special interest groups control the development in our community. But wouldn't you want somebody from the community that's been through something to be the one that lead? Because most of these people that's in office probably never really been through nothing in terms of, understanding what the people is going through. And here I want to talk about how you identify elected officials. I asked Deven last week we wanted to pull the D2s. What is the D2s? Can you break that down?
Yeah. So everybody who runs for elected office in the state of Illinois or nationwide has to file basically financial reports. Whether in Illinois, you file it with the Illinois State Board of Elections. If you run it for like president, you would file it with the federal election, the FEC. And so they can see this camera, right?
Yeah.
So basically what happens is every quarter a D2 comes out. I file these with the Southside Republicans, and it lists you really are supposed to put every expenditure, any income you have, any investments that an organization might have. If you give me $1, it's gonna make it on the D2.
It's supposed to.
It's supposed to, right?
We know it don't. Right. You give me $1, I probably won't make it. I'm just saying, I'm only showing you. They're like openly like, I can't believe they putting every dollar on here.
I don't think I think some of these people, if you hand them cash, it ain't gonna make it on there.
Nah,
if it's a bank account, it's harder because the bank, would probably have to. They could subpoena the records or whatever. So in theory, they put every dollar that they give in this.
So it's the money form that they receive
and spend.
And spent. What you mean spent?
So like if they have an office and they pay a comment bill.
Not necessarily like a pop. You're not saying because they
no,
pay tax.
no,
Yeah,
no,
I'm only
no,
saying
yeah. So
like groceries. Oh, I'm looking at you bought orange juice and chicken.
Yeah.
You really
right.
saying
Well, if they bought it for the organization,
if they but not from
that,
your personal household.
No.
I'm trying to understand it. Like it's from money given to you election.
Yes. So like if you have, like the Southside Republican organization, that's the name of my organization. Whatever we spend, if we buy a case of water, I'm putting it on there. It might say supplies or something like that. So so like the Aldermanic Black Caucus, for instance, which I brought their information here. I think that's right here.
So this is the Black Caucus.
This is the Black Caucus. So and basically what this is a printout of any organization that's related to the Black Caucus. The 16th Ward Democratic Organization, they have $44,000.
So they have 44 now.
That's what they control right now.
Okay.
So what I printed out is the organizations that are related to the Aldermanic Black Caucus. That means that the officers of these organizations are either also on the board of the Aldermanic Black Caucus, like Stephanie Coleman is the chair, Monique Scott is the treasurer. All of these, the 21st Ward, $12,857.50.
So that's what they have. What they have. So when they have these committee races, I saw David Moore and I think Willie Preston was trying to.
Yes.
So what ward is that?
That's 17.
17.
And it's on here. Let me see. I know it's on here. I just saw it before I came here. Well, this is citizens to elect David Moore, 58,000.
So he raised that much.
That's how much is in
his account.
Yeah.
This don't mean that they've spent it. It's just
he could have spent it if it, it's up to date as of the last quarter. So maybe he spent all of it, maybe not. We'll find out.
Who is this with $300,000 that popular?
That's Citizens for Irvin.
So Irvin raised 400,000, nearly 400,000.
Yeah, that's his candidate.
But it don't show who all gave him this money, do it?
Well, so when you click this, so this is directly from the website. If you click it, it'll be a whole drop down.
So this is how you find out who these people work for.
Correct.
Because if you click it, so this is you in the 18th.
I'm in the 18th.
So yours would be Derek Curtis.
Right. So when I click the 18th Ward Democratic Organization, right?
Yeah.
Funds available. Now this is September 30th, 2024.
Yeah.
$77,236.66. Contribution since $2,500. So that gives him $79,000. This is based on this website. JB for governor.
JB gave him. So JB Pritzker gave Derek Curtis $6,500.
Yep. Citizens for Rush. I think that's Bobby Rush. $5,750.
So gave Curtis, or did he give the committee? How do that? So
this is the
alderman. Would that be the aldermanic?
This is the alderman as the 18th Ward committeeman.
Okay, so
like I'm the 18th Ward Republican,
but Curtis.
He got the 18th Ward Democrat organization, and then he has Citizens for Derek Curtis.
So did any of them go? Was they opposed? Was he opposed? Was it anybody that opposed him in this?
He
war?
did, but she was a progressive. She was like house the migrants, tax y'all's houses. She was.
So she have a chance.
And everybody in the 18th Ward, it's a homeowner ward. It's heavily brick bungalows. It's not apartment buildings. It ain't affordable housing. It ain't Section 8. This is all.
I want you to go down. I want to finish. I want to know these special interest groups, because these are really special interest groups that giving them money, right?
Yeah.
So these are the people pretty much control them. Is that a church giving them?
Monument of Faith Evangelistic Church, $4,000.
I need to see them. I need to see them. Listen to this. Monument of Faith Evangelistic Church gave $4,000 to Derek Curtis.
Yes.
See, now this is a church giving y'all money away to, because it ain't the pastor name. It said the church name.
Yeah.
Isn't this a non-for-profit?
Yes.
Wait. Separation of church and state is not real in America. So They should be they 501c3 should be done if they giving money to the alderman, shouldn't it? I'm trying to figure out. Please explain to me, how are they a 501c3 exempt?
I would want them to explain
exempt.
that. That's a lot of money.
That's 4,000. I guarantee you, he got parishioners that can use that 4,000.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, his followers can use that 4,000. This is Monument of Faith. I'm gonna check him out and find out which pastor, because I want to ask them, why did you give the people's money to the alderman? Did they see this? The souls to the polls crap I be saying.
Yeah.
The pastors are hypocrites.
Yeah.
They can't praise God and praise the scribes and the Pharisees. See, that's why Jesus turned the tables over in the church. So we need Jesus. You need to turn the table over in Monument of Faith Evangelical Church, because this is a crook. This man gave $4,000 to Derek Curtis, and his parishioners could have used this money for some child care, some schooling, tuition.
They could have opened up a school at the church.
Okay, this must be a lawyer, Murphy and Berry.
Yeah,
they gave $3,900. Who was it?
Gateway Park
LLC. They probably don't. Gateway Park. Is that the?
That sounds like a housing or something like that.
See, these gentrifiers and chief probably that come in our neighborhoods and buy up the building. Teamster Local Union number 700. This special interest group, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all help. Newsflash, special interest group. Teamster Local Union 7. See, you know what this election is showing me? We got to get rid of these people. Then I pulled little alderman, Sister Mary Flowers, and she gave this money away. Friends of Mary Flowers. So that was the money they gave to her. She just then turned it over to another pack, Yeah,
and
that's really
I don't
even
think he supported her.
And he didn't support her. See, they playing a lot of games. They don't even fight for each other. Who is this here?
Ventura, Westport Commons. Yeah. That's a housing.
Wait a minute.
That's apartments.
Wait, who owned that? See, I love it. Now you start getting into the meat of this stuff. See, y'all look at this. Y'all only gonna get this from a Republican committee person. And who is it? You store it. LSC. These some Arabs own some storage unit.
4850.
Look at it.
Gas plus. 4,500.
And these the bogus gas stations.
This a gas station,
man.
Right
these
here.
The bogus gas stations that get you killed in your gas station. They with no security, no protection. They don't have protection for you in your gas station when you go to pump gas, but they got 4,500 to give to the local. Man, so you know what, man? That's why we need campaign. Finance reform, bro. Yes. Because now you allow these businesses to violate us because they gave you money. That's why they don't say none of these. So
this is the list of top 25 donors. So again, citizens to elect. Remember, I said this is his committeeman pack. Yeah, kind of like the Southside Republicans. The citizens to elect Derek Curtis, which is how he becomes alderman, gave this organization $44,000.
But isn't this the Latino PAC Union Laborers, LIUNA, LIUNA, Chicago Laborers PAC? They gave him $34,000.
Yeah.
Listen, man.
Vallis for mayor.
16,957. What, he didn't vote for Vallis? Did he? Yeah, I think he did. He did vote for Vallis.
So what I looked, that's where I saw Walgreens. $7,250.
Why would Walgreens give him money?
And this is to.
This is what I understand.
This is not to Derek Curtis,
it's to
the alderman. This is to the 18th Ward Democratic organization. Party. So would Walgreens give a similar amount to the Southside Republicans?
No. So wait. Walgreens gave him. They didn't give you that?
No.
So Walgreens give money to Democrats on this whole list. Look at this here. This is amazing. Walgreens,
and that's not the full list. This is only maybe 50 pages
Walgreens
out of the list.
Oh, I think I got it. Where's Walgreens headquarters?
They're out there they're here. God, what is that suburb? I can see it. It's off of 90. off of 90.
Is this the money they gave right here?
The money is not on there. Though I
those
numbers,
what
those numbers are.
Okay.
I didn't
so
print
Friends
out the numbers,
of Susan Garza, Walgreen
Yep.
gave them, Burnham Committee,
Democratic
Democratic
Party of
Illinois. So they give all the, they make, hey people, we probably need to boycott Walgreens. I'm telling you right now, and let's boycott Walgreens.
You got Pat Dow.
You
got Brett Winkle for
president. Fitzgerald. No, I don't know who that is. Sarah Feigenhorst. Zika Whiskey State Rep. Friends of John Bradley, Raoul of Illinois. We already know that's the Attorney General. Citizen for Joe Sarnowski. The Friends of Susan Sadler, whatever. Look at all the Illinois Merchant Pack Team. Friends of Sarah, oh Lord, Susan, Linda from Aurora.
And I mean,
I just wanted this thing just go. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. This Walgreens. This got to amount to some millions. Right here. This Walgreens, you can't even get a free prescription or a cut on your prescription, but they got millions to give to your elected official. People for Emmanuel Chris Welch, 14,000.
They just gave that on the 5th of November.
On the 5th of November. Why? And then 1,500. Who is the 19th Ward Democratic Organization?
That would be that's Mount Greenwood. What's his name? I think it's on here. Matt O'Shea. So you can see they gave to the 19th
and Matt O'Shea is not
but then
a Republican.
Again, here's Friends of Matt O'Shea,
right?
Which
and
is
they
separate
gave
from
it
19.
again. So they got two. But I don't see no organizations, and I ain't pulling my own, tugging my own.
It's some Republicans on there, but they don't give nearly what they give to.
I don't see no organization here like that do work in public safety or nothing that they give money to. They probably give it to some big company. Elect Felix Cardonia.
People for Emmanuel
Chris Welch again. Man, listen, man. This is a Sophia King. That's old.
Walter Burnett.
Everybody on here. Hey, y'all, let me say something to y'all. Walgreens will never do you right. They can leave your neighborhood. They can raise your drug prices, and you're not going to have no fight or advocate from your elected officials, because this list right here, Walgreens is a pimp. And everybody on here is it a synonym? If he a pimp, a noun, ain't that like a noun, then everybody else is a what? I ain't gonna say it. If this, I need to understand. With a P though. Start with a P. If he's a pimp, somebody's selling something. If Walgreens is the pimp of black people and black elected officials and special interest groups, this is just Walgreens. Yeah. I can't wait to Comcast.
You got AT&T is a big one. You got ComEd.
Wow, man.
Hashtag Mike Madigan, right?
You know what somebody told me? Elected official told me, white people get rich from politics. It look like we picking up this same habit.
Yeah, but we don't get rich from it. None of our people
because you know why we don't get rich? Because often the white people that get rich, the businesses that's in that community are their cronies and friends and family members. Our elected officials don't build businesses or make their family member friends and support us in black business, because I know I don't get any. They allow other foreigners to come in and take our resources and revenue outside our community. But as long as they donate these gas stations, Baba's, and all these places are donating to them, they places stay nasty. The food is nasty. They probably need a health inspector in all of those food stops. Black men get murdered in J&J Fish.
Yeah.
And Derek Curtis. Because Derek Curtis didn't require them to, and that's my man. See, you see why I love to be free. I can tell you my man them violated and messed up, and then go hug them and say, man, get your Get the stuff together, man. Because it's about the people. If you don't gonna represent the people, leave. You ready to be alderman?
You know what I am, but I don't know if people.
They ain't.
I'm be honest. I don't think people are ready for.
Our people too brainwashed. You can go down the list and read all of this. They won't even be smart enough to vote for you, who will be more on the ground, tirelessly working for them.
Because see, this is what people think. Your alderman is not the leader of the community. Your alderman represents you.
That's right.
You are the leader of the community. So what the alderman, it don't matter how many parties you have that the alderman
they some
shows
socialites,
up to.
bro. They some socialites. They the parties drinking this parties going people I've ever met.
Is supposed to go downtown and say, this is the mayor's budget recommendation.
Right.
And I noticed that there's $5 million that you're spending on, I don't know, the Migrant Affairs Office, that maybe you could spend $5 million fixing potholes along Pulaski, Cicero, Kedzie, whatever.
So we got some broken tires and rims all on our cars.
Yeah. And why is an alderman, which neighborhood in Chicago costs 6 figures to live in? Let me rephrase that. Which black neighborhood costs 6 figures to live in?
We don't have a black neighborhood. We don't own the building, most of them. And we was talking about Hyde Park, Kenwood, or those ones. They got condo owners. They have homes. But I don't even think we really own it, because I don't think we have a collective responsibility. It's more rent being paid and buildings owned by outsiders than it is by the people who actually make up the majority of those communities.
So then, do we have 6 figures to pay a person that lives in the neighborhood to maybe drive downtown and meet a couple of times a year to pass a budget that further tax us? That's my point. Your alderman makes 6 figures a year
to do nothing,
to live in a neighborhood that you don't make 6 figures a year to live in, to do absolutely nothing.
She said a part-time job.
It is a part-time job. And then your state rep is what, at $86,000 a year now? They just got a huge raise.
They raised themselves. Did the people get them a raise?
No, they raised it themselves.
How they do that?
They voted for it.
Who delivers that vote? The speaker.
They propose it, and then the
vote speaker approves,
and then the governor signs it.
The speaker and the governor.
Yeah. And then they get a per diem when they're in Springfield. So this is all the stuff that people don't.
What makes them worthy of a raise?
I guess because they show up to enough of our barbecues. They give us a turkey. Maybe, we'll get a rotten turkey this time of year. Well, it's not rotten because it's frozen, but we'll get a turkey from one of those people on the list, right? We'll get a ham, right?
Man. The views expressed on this show, Intellectual Radio, is ex-cons for community. No, I can't say that. That's wrong. I'm sorry. Ex-cons for Trump. That's a separation for sure. Ex-cons for Trump live on Intellectual Radio. These are our views. Deven views and my views are not IntellectualRadio.com views. I want to make that very clear, because it seems like when we exercise our right to speak truth and to have freedom of speech, other people get punished for telling the truth.
Yeah.
That's why they sitting there crying right now, because they want to censor the people and don't want to deliver results. So we don't have no friends from them. I don't want to be their friends. I want to be the people friend.
Yeah.
Because it's more. Didn't they show you already that it's more of the people than it is of them? Do you think they get it?
No. Because in a state like Illinois, while we made some gains in kind of breaking away from the Democrat machine, we still went for that group of people, right?
Sure did.
We still, I know people are mad at Brandon Johnson, But are people really gonna get rid of their alderman in 2027? Because he don't do it by himself.
Nah, the aldermen helped them. They elected them. Those committees you talked about with all this money going from Walgreens, Bank, probably I could bet Bank of America, Chase. Yep. Man, I'm putting cases on all of y'all. 23-1. Shoe Factory. Listen, man, all of them need to be everything, bro. We got to sit down.
And this is the thing. When you download, like, this is not the full document, right? That's just Walgreens. So you asked me to bring in all these different D2s. And when I did the research, the amount of paper that it would have taken me to give you what you asked for
in this room,
this whole table, it would consume the show. You know, it's a verse in the Bible where it says that not everything could be written about Jesus because the books would not contain it. Yeah. When you look at these people's financial donations, the amount of paper that it would take, I need to go downtown to City Hall to print it out. I need the government to print it out for me. That's how much money
he said that in. Walgreens give both Democrat and Republican money. Nah, not all of them. Mostly Democrats. They
overwhelmingly. They give Republicans money, but it very little amount
because you have no power in Chicago to really help Walgreens do anything.
This is how
just by happenstance.
But
how many organizations do Walgreens give money to? That's what I want to know. If you don't agree with Walgreens, like Walgreens as a corporation don't give community-based organization. They get more money to elected officials than they would a community-based organization.
And this is the crazy thing is that they get a tax break if they give it to a community-based organization, but they don't even care about the tax break because they're probably getting way more money by giving to
special interests.
Man,
boy, I'm coming to see you, Walgreens. I'm coming to see you, Walgreens. We're going to have a conversation. I want to meet with y'all family. The Walgreens family. They got all types of different little names. Walgreens Company, Illinois. Walgreens Family of Chicago. Walgreens Company, Walgreens Company. Walgreens. Walgreens Co. How they got 30 different ways to say Walgreens.
And Walgreens ain't the worst. ComEd is probably worse than Walgreens.
ComEd.
And you have to pay ComEd. You have to have a light bill.
We got a monopoly.
Yeah. People's Gas.
And then People's Gas a monopoly. Parking, a monopoly.
NICOR, parking, the
parking a monopoly.
Yeah.
And we have no elected officials to speak against these special interests.
And the unions.
And
you cannot give, and I'm talking about the police union, the fire union, the union that Streets and Sanitation is in, SEIU,
so filthy.
The Chicago Teachers Union. It ain't, see, people, we always want to demonize one group. And then we forget about all the other groups. All of these unions are the same. They all doing the same thing.
My chest hurt. I ain't lying, bro. My chest hurt. My head hurt. My chest hurt. Man, it's like I wonder why this is voted one of the top corrupt cities, Chicago, in the country. And, little guys like us speaking out and then the community being ignorant, continue to vote hook, line, and sinker, blue no matter who. Don't even understand why they voting. Don't even know the money each alderman takes in from special interest groups. So when they stand before you to say they're going to do X, Y, and Z for you to get your vote, but they'll tell you in a minute, I had this conversation before with elected officials, that black folks ain't giving up no money, so I can't really fight for y'all. Because if I fight for you, I'm going to lose my seat.
Yeah.
Because these people giving me the money going to remove me and they're going to run their candidate against me. Man, that is wicked, bro.
But that's a problem with our community. So you telling me that Walgreens could put out flyers, ComEd could put out flyers that will sway our vote against a person who is saying things that benefit us to vote for a corporate sponsor candidate. I can't blame Walgreens for wanting to make more money. I can't blame ComEd for wanting to have a monopoly. I have to blame us because if I don't have $50,000 to give Alderman Derek Curtis, that means that Walgreens is gonna fill in the gap.
Yeah.
And everybody in my community is gonna vote for the Walgreens candidate, not the candidate that we should be voting for.
Hey man.
That's a problem with us.
It is, man. We got a problem. We don't show up at city council to look at the budget. He's about to go over that budget in a minute. We don't show up for nothing, man. This weight is heavy. It's like I wish I had it in me to stop fighting for black people. And you hear what I'm telling you? I wish I had it in me to stop fighting for our communities, because the weight is so heavy when you try to reveal something. So you lose in the end, because just like the politicians say, you fight for black people, you put yourself out there on the cross. And they the same ones, they keep supporting the same people that you telling them not to mess with, because they evil. Because they don't have nothing for you. They talking about give us Barabbas while you hanging on the cross. These the same people, bro, that you fight for every day and reveal yourself. You almost have to be a fool to want to be a Republican in Chicago.
Yeah.
You're a fool. You're really brave.
Yeah.
But you're a fool, bro. But I know if I ask you, what's 5 points that you emphasize in serving the community you represent? Like, can you give me 5 points?
Yeah.
That you know.
I think the first and foremost, you want me to get a 5 points?
Yeah, give me 5 points.
Okay, first and foremost, I would say is community empowerment. I think that this is a constitutional republic, and so I feel like the power should be in the hands of the people. That we hire or contract these people to represent us. They are not our leadership. Donald Trump is not the leader. Donald Trump is the first among equals, and so we have hired him to represent us abroad and to do things that we need to do at the federal government. But then we also hired 535 members of Congress to go there and have the power of the purse. We hire 50 aldermen who really should be doing most of the work of city council, and then they dictate to him based on what the 56,000 of us in each ward have said. They dictate to the mayor what he does in executing our authority, because that's what's happening. So first and foremost, community empowerment. I would say limited government. I don't think that we need the government to be all things to all people. The government is not our savior. If you want a savior, hey, I'm a Christian. You got Jesus Christ, right?
No,
but you don't.
And you don't go to church. You show the church is not.
I didn't say go to church. I said Jesus. Okay, I ain't said nothing about monument of whatever.
Right. So you're not gonna get Jesus from now while they're exchanging money.
You're gonna get more government.
All right.
So I would say limited government, because do you really want, as much as we've been fighting for adequate education, we're saying that we're going to keep sending our kids to institutions that sexually indoctrinate them. We're saying we're going to keep sending our kids to institutions that don't teach Black history. That should be happening at home. I don't know if I could go through 5. That covers it right there. But I do low taxes. Why are we? I'm looking at the budget right now. Watch this.
That's Chicago.
This is Chicago. Fines, forfeitures, and penalties. The mayor of Chicago and the 50 aldermen are estimating that from you in 2025 they're going to raise $637,051. 325 fines, forfeitures, and penalties.
Forfeitures mean they taking something.
They're going to take your car,
your house.
That's your house.
You are fools. They making it and already decided that $300 million gonna be in the budget, because they gonna tax you in fines.
Take
your penny. They're gonna take it. Okay.
So here we go. Licenses, permits, and certificates. That means like you're a barber, you got to get a license, right? You need permits to maybe build a garage at your house. $122 million.
So to build on your own property.
Yeah.
that you already own, that you pay
Yeah.
property tax, I got to go get a permit and ask you permission to knock my garage down that I put up?
Yes. Yes.
God.
Yes.
Government.
Yes.
That's limited government.
That's limited government. So to me,
so we need education, bro.
When I first was running for
so that was 4.
That's
you got one more.
What did I say? I think that was
you
3.
Said fine for
I think I said 3.
And then
the 4th one would be
I think you mentioned schools.
Huh?
You mentioned that the 4th one.
If you want to add schools in there, I would say I feel like our money should stay with us.
They should be able to educate.
We should be educating ourselves,
and not look for.
Yes,
that's why CTU have so much power.
I do not believe in public school.
You
education.
people send your kids to school to be groomed into whatever it is that you're not gonna recognize when they get through. Furthermore, they tax us for teaching our kids that shouldn't even be in the schools anyway. Because if it was up to me, I would tell every person to remove your kid. You'll probably be better off teaching your kid on a YouTube program than to be sending them in there. I'm telling you, it's a distraction anyway. I didn't learn nothing in school, bro. I learned more at home when I was reading my book and doing my homework. Because I ain't had a distraction of the pretty girl I like and doing all the goofy stuff with my homies that I couldn't do. You know what I'm saying? That I don't see because they on different blocks and areas. And I was happy to see them and meet up with them when I got to school. I'm looking for recess. I'm looking for all the and hungry when I'm little. I'm looking to come there to get some butter cookies and some hot donuts and some oatmeal or something to feed myself.
Yeah.
So it becomes, man, everybody go to school for a different reason. Everybody don't have parents.
Yeah.
You know, that made sure that they was good and too good to go, or it was difficult for them. So every child go to school for a different reason.
Yeah.
Some escaping the house because they being abused.
You know, I adopted 2 of my students.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful, man. See, look, he ain't evil. He Republican, but he evil. So I'm just so, this is just heavy, man, because we ain't even cracked the surface, bro. We could do a 3-hour show.
No.
Just sitting around talking about this stuff. It is heavy. I only asked them that because I guarantee you, your current aldermen, your current state reps, and your current state senators, and your current committee people can't give you 5 real reasons why. They gonna mention.
Tell you about
you should have your right to choose.
Yeah.
They're gonna say you should have the right to your gender right. See, they gonna tell you some stuff that has nothing to do with you living different, living better in your household. I don't care what you do with your body. That's not for me to decide. Really, honestly, I want to know how we're gonna pay these high taxes, or how we're gonna reduce them. And how we gonna feed our family? Because the grocery store is constantly going up. You keep running around here talking about taxing for Thanksgiving dinner. You can't afford no dinner. Give thanks for what? High grocery bill? Man, we need to stop and wake up. We're in illusion, man. I'm so happy God woke me up. I probably got woke up in prison. Y'all need to go to prison. Some of y'all need to go to prison. I ain't lying. Wake up. Go ahead, brother. Finish.
I think the last thing, number 5, would probably be a feeless government. I don't think you should have to pay, if we already paying a sales tax, an income tax, multiple sales tax. Because if you look at the gas tax, you pay a gas tax, and then you pay a sales tax on the gas tax, the cost of the gas and that gas tax together, and then you pay a sales tax on top of that. So you like double, triple taxed on that. I think there should be no fees in government. If they require you to have a license, it's already covered. The employees that work in that office are already paid for with property taxes or something else. So you shouldn't go to the DMV and pay $30 for a license. You shouldn't pay $120 down at City Hall for a permit or whatever. They could mandate the permit, but does it really cost $100 to print out a piece of paper? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think a totally feeless government where you maybe have 2 or 3 taxes and that's it. And you know exactly how much government costs, because when you look at it,
hold on,
this
real
is your
quick, people.
your city budget.
I want y'all to know we normally done at 10. I think.
We went over.
I think Wanda said we could go a little longer.
She did.
I think Wanda always telling us to go and keep it going. But now, okay. Look, we're not gonna cover all this we're not gonna cover all this in one day.
No.
It's see how overwhelming this is. If it's overwhelming for us and we in the space, imagine what it is for the people, bro. That's I see why they're able to trick them, man.
Yeah.
I see why Donald Trump won.
Yeah.
Because the rural whites in white America tend to be a little more conscious about what they're voting for. You can't scare them. They looking at their tax bill. People, believe your eyes and believe your checkbooks.
But they also don't have a government that's layered on top of government on top of government on top of government. We're dealing with a $17.3 billion behemoth where somebody who lives in central Illinois maybe has a government that's taxing them a couple million.
So the same thing that Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk is doing, you saying every state should then do some cut some pork, drain some swamps. Because really, you draining a swamp.
This is the last thing I'm gonna say.
Okay.
And I want people to hear me very well. When you talk about, I just gave you the city of Chicago. The Chicago Public Schools is a totally separate taxing entity that has another $9 billion budget.
Wait.
That's separate.
Who pays that?
You do. We do.
Off of our taxes,
off of our homes.
I ain't paying you nothing. No taxation without representation.
We haven't gotten to the county. We haven't gotten to the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District.
Wait. Hold on.
We haven't gotten to the Community College District.
Wait.
I can't wait because we ain't got to the Chicago Public Library System.
God. Hold on.
I didn't even, you mentioned the Park District.
Hold on.
Are all separate.
Wait. We got a $17 billion budget that J.B. Pritzker and them received from different counties and
cities.
This is
the city.
So each city sends a budget in to run their city.
Right, downtown. J.B. Pritzker's budget is the state budget.
No, but J.B. Pritzker money comes from the senators. They go with Congress, go get money, right?
So sometimes the okay.
See, y'all, this civic engagement that they don't give us in school ain't gonna ever cover this.
The city gives a budget, and then the school district gives a budget, and then the community colleges give a budget, all separate. They don't care what each other say. The Chicago Public Schools does not care that you're paying $17 billion to the city of Chicago. They want their $9 billion. Then they say, based on our budget, we are entitled to, based on the roads and whatever the highway transportation bill from the federal government, they might say we're entitled to $5 million in grants to the city of Chicago for Pulaski Road. The Chicago public school system might say, well, they give us $10,000 per child with special needs. So I'm just making up an amount. I'm entitled to $1 billion for Chicago public schools. So then the federal government will send that. Maybe the state says we're going to give you $500 a kid just in general.
So the federal government just don't send it. It have to have a representative. So that's the two senators.
How does that work? There has to be a law, and they have to meet a requirement to that law. So maybe the federal government says the Department of Education this year is authorized to spend $1 for every child that takes a federally approved standardized test. We're giving you $1 for every child. Then the school district, high school, grade school, whatever, would go to the Department of Education and say, we have 1,000 kids that meet that criteria. Can we have our check? And then the Department of Education said, so we have senators and congressmen, they all made that appropriations bill. But the money does not, they'll tell you it flows through them. The money does not flow through them. The money flows through the federal bureaucracy based on what they have appropriated or made law.
Right.
But it does not flow through Jonathan Jackson or Danny Davis or whatever. And if it did, then we should reject that, because there's no way that you could prop yourself up on the backs of our tax money that go all the way to Washington, D.C., 1,000 miles away, and then come all the way back here after it's gone through a federal bureaucracy. Right. So, and
so
what
the
we
money have all this steam going to Washington. Then when it come back, it just die.
Right. And it's not all the money you sent, because, you got to pay people, right? To
before it get there. And
you got to pay for the paper that the application for the money is printed on. You got to pay for the office space. So when you send money to Washington, D.C., if you've ever been to D.C., it's a lot of buildings there. They got to pay for that stuff. So you send $1, maybe you get 35 cents back.
Man, listen.
Why not keep the dollar
I'm
here?
telling y'all, my head's smoking, because this man should be your alderman. This man should be a congressperson. See, there ain't nobody sitting. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all a fun fact. Most of your aldermen ain't going to be able to tell you that or break nothing down from. This dude is a political buff. He loves this stuff, man. And I'm going to just, man, listen, bro. That's how we have to be, for the people, by the people, man.
Yeah.
We got to create our own teams.
Yeah.
That then show the people. Now, there ain't no Democrat, no Republican. That ain't nothing. I could care less. If you're in the United States, how you united when you got divided parties anyway? Like, the only unity should be the people against them. Sound like?
Well, the country was never founded to have political parties. That's why we don't even have, if you go to Europe, Canada, Mexico, they got 30, 40 parties. We're struggling with 2. Because this country was never meant to have political parties. You stand on your own. That's why I say it's not really merit-based, because really your representative is supposed to stand on their own 2 feet and be held accountable to you. You should not look at them and say, that's the Republican Deven Jones. I'm not a I'm telling y'all, Republican is not in my DNA, and I will rip it off just as quickly as I put it back on if it doesn't serve me anymore.
You know what, man?
That's why I get in trouble. That's why Republicans don't like me.
See,
Democrats,
this is what I'm saying. You're really independent. So I love it, though. We're gonna keep on feeling. We're gonna keep educating the people not to get caught up in parties,
right?
But to get caught up in it. It's not that I care.
You can't get on the ballot without it.
Exactly. And I picked Trump because I believe he's better for our community.
Yeah.
Not because he's a Republican or a Democrat. So with that being said, we're gonna shut this thing down because it's too heavy for one show, and Deven gonna be a regular, and y'all gonna see him on the campaign trail and other places, because man, we got a lot of work to do. This is too heavy for little old Tyrone Muhammad, man. I'm an advocate, man. I'm business owner, small business owner, and I'm a lover of my community and my people. And if I say anything to offend people, that is not my intention. If I ever offended anybody, I apologize. That's not my intention. But if you're offended because I said something that was truthful, that was my intention. But with all that being said, it's time for us to unify as a people and build our collective bargaining power so that we can negotiate, no matter who get in office. I'm in this space, ex-cons for Trump, so that I can negotiate for my constituency base, which are 80 million all over the country, and ex-cons are all over the world. I have a huge constituency base, and that's what I'm tapping into to say, hey, we violated, we renewed, we're transformed, then it's on us to change us. It's going to take us to save us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to take us to save us. It's not going to take politicians. That should be a running narrative. That should be a running narrative. We got to do this. So I thank you all for tuning in. Deven to be back Tuesday. Next Tuesday? Thanksgiving. We won't be here Thursday. I'm sorry.
Tuesday.
We'll be here Tuesday. For y'all that celebrated, Happy Thanksgiving. That's another thing. Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. Listen, y'all. Christmas, $900 billion y'all spend. Look at y'all. Look at the consumer. Jesus didn't intend for you to go broke.
Jeremiah 10.
Jeremiah 10. Is that the tree with
That's
the fools
the tree
that hand?
the...
See, I should have been the pastor. So see, I know the book better than
then
them.
You could give $4,000 to one
to
of the
one of the thing. And Thanksgiving, $500 million, billion or something. Thanksgiving. Y'all we spend more celebrating holiday, 500 billion, 900 billion for Christmas. And some of y'all don't even have a chimney. So somebody lying. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is X-Cons for Trump Live on Intellectual Radio. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you all, and be safe. Look after the young people, man. Look after our children, man. Protect your women, man, and get ready, because we're about to change the trajectory of violence. We're about to change the trajectory of public health, mental health. We're about to change the trajectory of prison industrial complex. We're about to change and remove a lot of you all in these wards, in these districts. We gearing up. This is just the beginning, and Trump is just the beginning. And hey, Tom Holman, hit me, man. We got a press conference to do in Chicago. We got to walk around. Let me show you where some of these people's at. Hi. Thank you.